It's here. Hello. Hello. I have a package delivery for pedal power touring from Germany. Please sign here. Pen, please. Let's get to the park and get this thing open and see what it is, huh? Just got my package we've been waiting for probably over a month to get. Kind of excited about opening this and showing it to you. But before we do that, let's talk about racks and panniers, specifically our Tubus racks and our Ortlieb Panniers. Like I mentioned, we're going to talk about our Ortlieb Panniers and our Tubus racks. And to begin with, this is a long-term review. We've had our bags and our racks now almost 9 years, and they've been places. They've traveled a lot. They've been through all kinds of weather. They've been rained on, snowed on, frozen, dropped, rolled down mountainsides, and they're holding up well. I'm gonna show you just how well. We're gonna get some close-up shots of how well they're holding up, and I think you're gonna be just as pleased. Now, these are the same bags. They still make these bags. Today, you can still get these. Now, the rear panniers that we have, which are the Bikepacker Plus, they've changed it a little bit. The newer models have a little different design, but it's still the same material. The front bags, which are the Sport Roller Plus, they still make, and we have, I think it's called what's the material called? It's not the classic, it's not like the vinyl, it's the Cordo or whatever material. You can look it up. I'm not going to get into all the specs. You can always go to Ortlieb's website and get up all the specs. I mean, I will tell you that our rear bags, I think, are 42 liters for the pair, how much volume they have, and our current front bags have about 25 liters per pair. Front panniers. As you can see, these bags have held up very nice, and the material is still solid. This is the QL2 system. It's very easy to get on and off. So basically, you just pull up on this, and you can see that it releases the latch, and you pull off. And if they're weighted down, you hold up on that, and you can see they're open. So you just put them down on the racks, which I'll show you a little closer, and you close it, and there you go. So here's where you make your adjustments, depending on your rack. You simply just pop this up, and then you slide accordingly depending on your rack. I'm not going to move them. You can see I can't even begin to tell you how many thousands of miles these bags have. Like I said, they've been sitting on the ground. We do have some tiny little pinholes here, but we still trust these bags with all of our electrical gear. And you'll notice too, this has a strap to help you carry it if you need it, like such. Now the rear ones that we have do not have that strap. They all do another thing we like too. They all have this reflective patch on both sides, which is super bright. I mean, at nighttime, you don't even really need lights, because if cars hit that, it shines like crazy. So yeah, you can just see how, hope you can see that anyway. This part here is for, you adjust it according to your rack as well, where this is basically a hook, which I'll show you here in a minute too when I get in closer. And you have to make adjustments simply. You just loosen it and you slide it to where you need, depending on your rack system. Snug it down. Now I will tell you, when you're cycling and you hit like hard bumps or something like that, this could come from behind the hook. And it's no big deal. You simply just get off your bike, unhook it, slide it back into where it's going to go, release, and there you go. Now we'll tell you too, you want to go ahead and tuck that strap away when you actually get it mounted. because otherwise what'll happen is you'll go down the road and you'll hear it, and that's basically that strap is falling into your spokes and it's hitting your spokes. So you want to tuck that away. To close these, you simply just fold it up, roll it. Usually, 2 rolls and then that's sealed. I mean, but you go all the way down with it. Clip. And of course, the strap comes around. And that's the front pannier. Good stuff, good material, still watertight. Like I said, we trust this with all of our electronics and everything. Our rear bags, the Bike Packer Plus. Now with our model, we have this mesh outer pocket. The newer model, they still have the pocket, but it's not a mesh pocket. I'll be quite honest, we like the mesh pocket. Our daughter has a set of bags, which the outer bag, it's made out of the same material. I don't think it expands as much as this here. I will tell you the other difference between our model and the newer model. The newer model uses the same, everything's the same, except it has a strap like the front has. So, but I really just wanted to show you the material. I mean, after all these years, it's sitting on the ground, dropped on the ground. It's still holding. I mean, it's showing some wear. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it's little stuff. Now, one thing that did happen to us while we were traveling, which was it happened to both of us actually, was this screw on the inside came undone. And actually, when Petra was cycling, hers fell off in a crazy intersection. And luckily, mine just came apart and I caught it in time. But yeah, and they come off, and what happened was it allowed this part to like bow, and then these clips couldn't hold anymore and it just fell off. So, but it's the same locking as the front that I showed you. You just simply pull up on that and you can see that latch there opens and closes. Now, same with the rear here to adjust them. Same exact setup. Now this is still the original locking pieces, and they've stretched a little bit. Because really when you first get these, when they're new, you get a set of spacers that go in there depending on your rack. And I'll show those to you here in a minute as well. We stopped using them because they just, this is a little worn out and they just would fall out. So this is fine. I mean, it rattles a little bit. It's not that big of a deal though. This is the same mechanism to lock it to secure the bottom, depending on your rack, of course. Again, same with the front pannier. Sometimes when you're cycling and you hit a bump or something like that, it can kind of, because this is kind of flexible. So it can pop out from the bar. It's no big deal. It's not, you just stop, have to pop it back in and lock it in. So this one's a little different when it comes to the inside. It has drawstrings. You got 2 drawstrings. So what you're seeing is it's pretty compact right now, but this thing can actually goes up quite a bit. So I mean, you get a lot more room. And again, you would cinch this down. Now on the inside of the bag here, I don't know if you guys can see in there very well, has a like an inner sleeve you can slide stuff down into, and it also has a mesh little smaller pocket here. It's not as big. I don't know if you can see that. So now this is the same on the newer models, at least with what our daughter has anyway, same exact thing. Now you'll find this on both the front and the rear panniers. And you'll notice inside here, these little, these like little, I don't know what you want to call, like little nuts, I guess. Every now and again you want to check those and just make sure they're, they're kind of tight, because that's actually what kind of came apart on ours. The one that came apart right here was that one right there that came off. In fact, see, that's loose. So there we go, now it's tight. So you want to check those every so often. You'll notice the inside material here, that's kind of it's sealed somehow. I don't know what that, I guess they spray something on, but it's not flaking off. It's still holding up well. 9 almost 9 years. And you cinch it up, flop that over, make your adjustment, depending on how much stuff you have. But again, it's really just to show you the material and how long, I mean, you know, this is, I don't know, it's good stuff if you ask me. I would not hesitate to buy this again. Now you'll notice too on this bag, we have an external pocket. This doesn't come with the bag. So this is called a outer bag is what this is. And we each have one on both our bags. And we would put, you know, just different things. I generally carried stuff I would need to get to fast, like some tools, some repair equipment, maybe a first aid kit was in mine. Again, this kind of just, you know, it's pretty big. You can just roll it up. Sometimes you can only get one roll, that's fine. But again, this is also waterproof or rainproof. You know, I mean, you can't submerge it, but again, even today, we would put all of our stuff in here, our clothes and everything stays dry. I'm gonna show you on the other bag what we have on it. Same bag, but we each have what's really, it's a water cage. We use it for our fuel bottles. Instead of putting our fuel in the bag or coming up with some other crazy designs. So I got these and it carries this bottle just fine. Now we'll give you a hint. If you do this, get you like a hair band, rubber band to put over the top. Because what will happen, one thing we learned right off the bat, our first trip with this, is you hit a bump and this has a tendency to, and before you know it, you're backtracking a half mile or so to find your fuel bottle. So put something around it just to keep it from coming out. It's, you know, again, I just want to show you the material. Yeah, this is, I think, called the bottle cage. Now, when you get these, make 4 holes to mount this on there. It's same with the other bag that I put on as well. But the way this is designed, it seals it right back up. No waters come in. So, yeah, again, this is really good stuff. Our handlebar bag. Now, they got a new model out. It's called I think it's called the Ultimate 6. This is the Ultimate 5. I'm not really sure what the difference is. It's still made with the same type of material. I mean, they make some that have like a USB plug that you can plug into that's watertight. We don't have that. But again, I'm gonna just get up close. There's that reflective material I was telling you about. This is starting to fade away. It's got two small little bags on the side. On top, we did have map cases, but the map cases finally wore out. I mean, they started falling apart a couple years ago, but I think they finally gave up as we were crossing the states coming back home, so we finally had to throw them away. But, you know, that's actually very nice. We need to get some more, but they just snap right up here, and it's very nice. So, and this has a different type of mounting system, which I'll show you on the bike as well. This just slips in and locks into a thing that's mounted to your handlebar. So. Also, this comes with a strap as well. I don't have the strap with me, but that's what these little knobs here are for. So you would just, the strap on there, and then you could just, you know, carry it as such. So, but that's the handlebar bag. I wanted to show you again how, I mean, look how durable that is. It's, you know, it's worn. I'm not gonna say that, but I mean, it's definitely been used. It's definitely worth every penny. So that was a review of the bags, our panniers. Now I'm gonna let you know, they are a bit expensive to buy, but I think if you break it down by the longevity of them, it's worth every penny. You know, like I said, a lot of the stuff that we liked about them is they're waterproof. There's plenty of space. They're open compartments, so you put your other stuff in small bags. Now there's another pannier maker out there that we looked at one time, and what turned us off by them is they're so compartmentalized. So if your thing doesn't fit in there, you could be wasting a lot of space, or I think you're kind of restricted with that setup. I mean, I can't say anything negative because I never tried them. I just know that was one thing that turned me off, where these, you put all your stuff in little stuff sacks or other little bags and you can pack it how you need to. I think these are definitely a more efficient way to travel. Again, you can expand the bags. You can shrink the bags down a little bit. Like I said, they're very durable. We've had our bags almost 9 years. We're a couple months shy of 9 years. They've got that reflective material. Now, if we had anything negative to say, like I said, one negative thing, they are expensive. That, you can't take that away from it. I mean, they are a bit costly, but they're worth it. And the other thing is the little spacers that fell out. I mean, that's not even really a negative, because they held up for the longest time. It's just after a while, they started falling out. So this is the Tubus rack. This is the lowrider. I think it's, don't quote me on this, but it can hold like 30 pounds or just a little more than 30 pounds. So you'll notice it's mounted in 3 spots. Or really, it's 2 spots it's mounted to your fork, here and here, but it has different positions so that you can make adjustments depending on your fork. And of course, when you're setting this initially up, you want to keep both sides over here. You got one screw here and one screw on the other side. You keep those loose so it allows this arm to swing. And you go ahead and get whatever works for you depending on your bike. You're either going to go to the outer mount or the inner mount. And then of course up here you'll notice you got 3 holes, and that's how much, how much swing or whatever angle it is for you there. It will work with disc, obviously, and it also works with fenders, as you can tell. So now to put the front bag on, you notice I mentioned this hook here, and that hook's going to go. You see where it slides in right there? Of course, it'll probably vary depending on your rack. So what you do is you get that in first. Top goes right in. And you just tuck that strap away like that, and there you go, it's mounted on there. And you can always reach underneath back here like this if you needed to, and you can loosen that up and adjust it, whatever, so it stays tight and snug. Just loosen it up and you can slide it. So, and then make sure you always tighten that back up. So, and that's pretty much it for the front. The rear rack is a Tubus cargo rack. I believe it's rated for 80 something pounds, 85 pounds or something like that. Again, you can look it up. It's pretty stout. I mean, I've sat on it, and I'm obviously, I mean, I wouldn't sit on it for very long, but I'm definitely more than 80 pounds. Again, this mounts in basically 2 spots. You got down here, it mounts, and right here it mounts. Now, when you're setting this up, you're gonna notice you got a set of screws right here. You're going to want to loosen these up, and this will allow your rack to slide on these racks, these rack or posts right here, so that you got this somewhat level. And you tighten these down, tighten everything down. You'll notice too, what's really nice about this rack is it comes with a placeholder or a mount for your reflector or your rear light should you have a light. So again, you'll notice, I mean, yeah, there's wear on these, but not as bad. You can always just take them off and spray paint them black if you want to. Now I'm going to show you how to mount the map case. This is a little tricky actually, because the way you got to snake this cable. I mean, once you've done it, it's not too bad and you'll figure it out. This long cable goes in, and you got to kind of, this part stays tight. You loosen this nut up here to give it some slack. And there's a nut underneath here as well. 2 nuts, one here and one here. When you first have this, it's just a long cable. So you put it up here and then you run this cable around, you feed it through the hole, you go back in, you come around the other way, put it back in, comes out this way. And as you cinch it tight, you do these set screws so that that cable can't come back out. This cable folds back inside here. So really this is what's sticking out. So you pull this super tight and you work it, you get it nice and tight. You want to make sure this is tight, because once you put weight on your bag, if this is loose, that thing's it's gonna sag. So you want to make sure this is good and tight. In fact, when you think it's good and tight, tighten it some more. So, and like I said, there's 2 set screws underneath here, both Allen wrenches. I think they're 5 millimeters. And once you have that tight, then you tighten this down, and that pulls all the excess slack of this cable back in. This is like it tightens on itself as it's going in. It's pulling This, you'll know it if you get it. And you simply cut off the excess, leave yourself some here, and I suggest leaving the plastic on here, because what's going to happen is as you loosen this up and take it off, this is going to start to fray if you don't, because we already had to replace our cable once learning that. So leave plastic on here. This way when you know, it doesn't fray. So if it were to pop out, and you just simply tuck that back in there, and that's it. Simply you line up these two spots here with these two channels, and that's it, it's locked in. So, all right, so now the box. We already know what's in it, but we're still excited to get it. And when I open it, you'll, I guess, kind of understand. So let's open this box up. We like the Ortlieb so much that we ordered new front panniers. Not because we're disappointed with our other ones, because like I said, they rock. However, we wanted new bags for a trip we have coming up in the future, where we're probably going to be a lot more remote. And we just thought we might need the extra space for additional food, because we may be several days at a time, like up to 2 weeks worth of carrying food most likely. So we ordered these new bags. They are still the, I think these are the Sport Roller Plus, I think. The only difference is these are a little bit larger, whereas our old ones are 25 liters a pair. These, I believe, are 30 liters for a pair, so an additional 5 liters. You know, it may not be much, but a liter's about a quart, so imagine 5 quarts more. So, sorry about that, it was a bug crawling up my leg. So we're a little bit excited about these. Can't wait to give them a shot. Again, these are just in addition to what we currently have. What's nice about this stuff too is it's not made in China. This is made in Germany, proudly stamped. So I know it's kind of a lengthy review. It's a long-term review. Hopefully I covered enough stuff. Just want to really show you how durable and everything that material is, how well these bags have held up for us. So if you're still with us here to the end, thanks for watching. Please click that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and we're going to try to do more videos. And again, really thank you. And I want to thank that really cool post guy for giving me his cool hat for this video. Cheers.